Juan-o's world.
My baby mama trippin', she been going through my phone. Tired of me cheating, I can't leave these hoes alone. Hella pics, hella tips on my cash app. It's like ho. Welcome to Harlem, New York, y'all. Supposed to have been one of the original black meccas, especially of the early 1900s. You know, a lot of music was started there, a lot of poems, a lot of clubs, a lot of black expression. You know, that's where Madam C.J. Walker, that's where her whole fortune was spent, or shall we say wasted at. Now, we got a whole lot of famous people from Harlem, you know what I'm saying? Or a lot of people that we might have heard of, or shall we call them infamous people? Yeah, we're going to call them infamous. Starting with this guy here, Nicky Barnes, you know what I'm saying? He was a famous drug dealer, worked with the Italians, or maybe it was this guy, Frank Lucas, another famous drug dealer, both of them told though. Or maybe James Baldwin, who made his fame in Harlem writing poetry. Or maybe it was Langston Hughes, who made his fame doing the same thing. Now, both of them guys have been suspected to be homogenized milk drinkers, but we're going to leave that out. And up to my generation, the first king of Harlem, Mase. Especially when it comes to this entertainment thing. And that's why I'm making this video. Because it's starting to seem like Harlem eats its own. You know, now when Mase came out, he was pretty much the king of New York. He stepped right in, filled Biggie's shoes. The whole world was loving him. Even the other New York boroughs. Everybody was messing with him. Everybody was liking his flow. It was a little cheesy a little bit, the shiny suits and whatnot, but he was rocking. He was on and rocking. He was the king. Pac was gone. Big was gone. He was the first person we seen sell that many records, especially debuting. He debuted like Snoop. Biggie didn't debut like Mase did. Neither did Pac. And you know where Mase got all his hate at? Right in Harlem. So while the whole world was loving him, Harlem was hating him. It even started with this guy right here trying to set him up. Now imagine that. Mase grew up so poor that all these gangsters used to help him and give him shoes and stuff. And now all these same people that know he scrounged and grew up poor, all these same gangsters, now they want to get gangster with him. Knowing he was never a gangster. He was just poor. He was just poor. He was a hustler. Had a chip on his shoulder. Something that everybody should have and could have congratulated and respected. But no, not in Harlem. Everybody had to hate him. Shit, they even tried to kill him. And that's when Mase ran into a real black man from a real black city who showed him another way to change his life and still be prosperous. Shout out to Wayne T. So Mase got the hell out of Harlem and changed his life into something different. Now, these moves automatically made Jay-Z the de facto king of New York, along with his partner, Dame Dash, who's actually from Harlem, and a couple other people, and the record label they started. So now we in a whole new era, but Harlem's still winning. Whoa, let's not forget these guys. These are the guys that Mase helped put on, that was rolling with him when he first started, but abandoned him when the city turned against him. They turned right along with him. At least that's what the word on the street say. Nobody really wanted to help Mase fight that battle, whether it was his fault or not, whether he deserved it or not. Everybody knew Mase had a chip on his shoulder and he was the most poorest one out of everybody. And the idea that he's the one with money wasn't just hard for everybody else. It was something that was hard for him. But ain't nobody give a damn where he was coming from. They left him cold and bold. So now instead of the king of New York being from Harlem, Harlem just has a king of Harlem. And that would be Camron. But now it's a smaller position. Mase gone, Big L gone, so many other people gone. It's just Cam there. But let's see how this works out for Cam. Didn't go that well at all, because in true Harlem fashion, Cam fronted on the other boss of his label and ruined that. But then while at the same time, his homies was coming up making noise. And he ended up fronting on one of them. And that ruined they movement. Damn, Harlem. Come on, man. Now, make no mistake about it, Jimmy wasn't no slouch. By this time, he had learned how to produce, direct videos, and be an engineer and was already making clothes. With that being said, he moved out and stepped ahead of the game. He came out strong with hits, but Jimmy wasn't no rapper. Mase taught him how to rap years ago, and he was still learning how to use his skills. But what he did do was put Juelz in the situation to be the new king of Harlem. Because at this time, Cam not really dropping nothing. And let's be for real, what he was dropping, the streets wasn't really fucking with. Everybody had got tired of that. She want the holy moly. I did a roly-poly. We was in the stoley, and she took my roly. Niggas had got tired of that whole flow. Let's be clear. You know what I'm saying? So, after Jim made it hot, in back comes Juelz. But even though Juelz had the streets in the city hot, he wasn't ready for that position. I don't know if it was the Yerks. I don't know if it was the Zans. I don't know if it was the lean. I don't know if it was the big booty light-skinned girls. But whatever it was, Juelz kind of wasted the opportunity, to be honest with you. Not to say he didn't make music, because he did. To my understanding, there's a whole lot of unreleased music that we probably will never hear. But somewhere in between there, it could have been his deal. It could have been the label. It could have been a lot of things. But as hot as he was, we didn't get all the music and projects we were supposed to get. Excuse me. You know, all this Harlem shit, it gives me it's like eating pork, you know? It's like eating pork. It ain't good for me. And then we end up with these guys. Now, I'm not even going to dig off into this. Between the girly clothes, a suicide, drug habits, a homie shooting a homie, supposedly a homie suing a homie. These guys came up underground-wise, so it's a laundry list of DJs unpaid. A lot of their daddies is from Harlem. One of their daddies drew the original Bad Boy logo, wasn't paid. I can't put this group on Harlem, but they are Harlem. But the rest of the world don't even count them as Harlem because they look nothing like what we seen before them. But as I make this video and I see what we went through before they came, I understand how they became. But we gonna give credit where it's due, so shout out to the ASAP mob, and that's what that is. Y'all niggas still owe my man's drummer B some money, but I'm gonna let that ride. And wearing Alice in Wonderland shoes is homogenized milk drinker activity. So is holding hands with your girl while you walk behind her. If your woman walking in front of you, you ain't supposed to be holding her hand. You're supposed to be cheating. No, let me quit. Now, we just uncovered 2.5 decades of Harlem. But one thing that ain't never, ever, never changed, one thing that ain't never broke, one thing that never bent about Harlem has been this man right here. No matter what he's been going through. He's still been fresh to death. He's still been busting a new pair of Air Ones every day. He's still been Rolexed up. He's still been riding good. Yo, shout out to Dame. It's hard for people who don't have no financial trouble to never change while evolving. He mastered that shit. He's been representing Harlem 100% the whole time I've been looking at Harlem. But now, it looked like they trying to do him like they did Mase. And I don't know how you Harlem Nights feel, but the rest of the world fuck with Dame. And what you niggas is trying to do to him is asinine, especially after we all watched him help all y'all more than once. That's all I'm saying. And protect all y'all more than once. When everybody was going against Mase, Dame had his back. Dame was saying give him a chance. When wasn't nobody fucking with Cam, Dame did the same thing. Put his neck out there. And we can go on and on and on down the list.